Hello and welcome back to Havoc, and we're here once again at Dinner Castle, and we are going to try a slightly different strategy than before. Obviously, bear in mind, most of the castles and everything have pretty low HP walls, and generally we could destroy them. Obviously, that does make things a little bit more difficult when it comes to counterattacks. That's the only reason why I've been a bit dubious about actually employing those methods, which I'm not sure whether that really matters, because we are currently at war against, well, what could be considered a very weak force of enemy units. And from now, this is, for some reason, I don't know why this is happening in almost every series I make, but there always seems to be some kind of glitch / bug that causes some issue, and then kind of negates a lot of the enjoyment that you would otherwise see. And it's a bit weird, really, because this particular glitch / bug is not actually due to any of the mods, which obviously you might expect. You know, you might expect a mod or something to have a bit of a conflict with something in the base game. But no, apparently it is indeed confirmed by a couple of you in the comments that said to me that 1.7.1 does indeed have a small issue with enemy leaders not having any money. And that has nothing to do with the Havoc mod, because obviously, if you think about the Havoc mod, it gives you such insane prosperity that there is no possibility whatsoever of an enemy having no cash to spend, because that's the point. They have, what, 1 garrison? Maybe 2, maybe 3 under their control? Maybe 4 or 5 if they're lucky. And these garrisons are not going to be that costly. At least not right away. Maybe once they start upgrading and everything, then they might indeed, see that. But they should theoretically have hundreds of thousands of gold. They really should have hundreds of thousands of gold. There really is no excuse, really, for not having a super high gold value in your inventory as a leader of one of these factions. It's just impossible, because every single one of these fiefs that we are seeing here, they have amazing amounts of prosperity. I mean, with the exception of the one that we have, of course. The one that I captured does have, indeed, a very small amount of prosperity, and you can quite clearly see that that is indeed reflected in the amount of money we're getting from it. We're only getting 212, but just think about it. I'm getting 212 gold from a castle that literally has, what is it, 500 prosperity, maybe 600 prosperity at this point. And you can imagine that if it's a town, let's say I had a town, we're going to be running around with a town that has 10,000 or around that number prosperity. 10,000 prosperity in comparison to 500 to 600, which is what I have at the moment. You can kind of tell how much that's going to be. That's going to be an insane amount of money, really. Crazy, incredible amounts. So it would be real nice if we could actually capture something with a slightly higher level, just so that we could confirm that that is indeed what's happening, because obviously, again, I don't know why that happens, because it really shouldn't be, but apparently this particular bug was introduced in 1.7.1 and is part of the base game. Which is really weird, because you wouldn't expect to have a bug like that, which is pretty bad, actually. A pretty harsh bug to see at this point. I would definitely say, hey, you know what? If the game had just been released, and maybe a couple of updates down the line from that point on, I can definitely see, oh yeah, that's the reason why there's a pretty harsh bug in there. And I can understand that, because you never know, sometimes things get introduced that you don't really intend. But in this case, the game's been out for, well, it's not been out, so to speak, but it's been out in the wild, in early access, for 2 years. It's been 2 years, and you wouldn't expect there to be such an incredibly harsh bug to be present in the base game so that it results in enemy leaders literally having zero money. I mean, really, that is actually kind of, well, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. I mean, I can understand it, okay? I can understand it if it was a small team, you know, small team of developers, because let's face it, if you don't have the resources or the amount of people that can potentially work on something, then yeah, I can definitely understand how there might be a mistake here or there. But this is a relatively large developer now. It used to be not so large, but they have very many people working on the game, and they have a lot of resources. I mean, you can basically tell how many copies of the game they've sold at full price on release way back when it was first released into early access. They have a lot of resources as a result of this, or at least they should, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I don't know their finances or anything like that, but what I'm saying is, at full price, and they have how many reviews? I don't even know how many reviews they have, but it's at least 50,000 or something like that. Don't they have like 50,000 reviews or something? And if you imagine the small percentage of people that actually do leave reviews, and then you think about the total number of sales, and then you go from there, because basically there's no excuse at this point in development. There's no excuse for having a bug such as this, because this basically makes it so that this series may not be as challenging or as intriguing as it otherwise would have been if the game actually just worked as intended. Anyway, there we go. We gained some renown for that, which is, I suppose, absolutely fine. I mean, here's the thing. Now, don't get me wrong, okay? I love this game. I feel like this game is super, super fun when it actually works as intended. But of course, there are many, many cases where sometimes something goes wrong, and in that case, sometimes it's my fault because I have modded it incorrectly. Sometimes it's a mod's fault because, you know, some kind of conflict came up. I don't know. You know, sometimes it's like that. But when it's in the base game and the game has been out for so long, you kind of question things a little bit and you just go, why? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this to me? I mean, obviously, I'm not taking it personally, but I'm just saying that it's really sad because I actually really enjoy this particular setup that we have going on here. I really love it. I think it's super fun and interesting. And maybe if we execute the enemy leaders or something like that, maybe something's going to happen with them or whatever. I don't really know. Anyway, this castle has 2,500 prosperity, and we're going to just leave the loyalty where it is. Obviously, we do need to sell our prisoners. Actually, I need to set up improved garrison, don't I? Yeah, so rant over anyway. I just wanted to kind of let you know that that's what's going on there and my thoughts on the whole thing, because here's the thing. I love this game, and I just really want to see it be the best it possibly can be. And you want to see that too, right? I mean, surely you do, right? So, anyway, yeah, as I said, rant over, no problem. Anyway, so improved garrison. We're going to get some more units coming in there, hopefully, and we'll see where that goes, because obviously I don't really have a great amount of income at the moment, because these, well, these fiefs are terrible. Let's just say that. They are really, really bad. So we'll see what happens with them. I'm going to go over here and see what's actually happening to my village, because apparently it's being attacked by some extremely small vassals. And this is exactly the reason why, by the way, they have no units. They have no units to fight us. And of course, it's because they have no money, you know? They have no money, so of course they are not going to be able to recruit anyone because they have no cash to do so. So that is, of course, the reason why they're running around with such small armies, which actually makes it very amusing. Amusing, but not so fun, let's just say that, because I would love to be able to fight these guys and for them to actually have a decent enough army for them to put up a bit of a fight. But as it stands right now, this is, well, It's just me running into them, basically, and them dying from the soft breeze that I leave in my wake, or whatever the case. But yeah, a bunch of people said that I messed up my my transfer from my in-game wife. I don't think so, because I think I had all of these equipped, didn't I? Did I actually do it wrong before? I mean, it doesn't seem like it's wrong. I'm not entirely sure. Oh, it seems like her chest piece is all messed up. She has 21. Oh no, apparently that was correct. Oh, okay, well that's weird. Anyway, a bunch of you said that I took off her gloves and then put her gloves back on, but I think these are the gloves that she had? Yeah, it seems like it. I don't know. I mean, I have them on. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe I pressed on this one, which was the equip all. So equip every single person that you have in your army, or shall we say every single companion that you have in your army with the best possible gear that they can equip. So maybe I clicked on that and I did that by mistake or something, and I don't know. But whatever the case, everything is up to date and you don't have to worry about that. So that's all good. Anyway, we're going to go into the tavern here, just ransom these. Oh, we have some... we have a wanderer here. Who is she? She's Empire Culture. Okay, yeah. So what I'm going to have to do is I'll have to make sure that we have a decent amount of possible companions that could join us to become governors and things like that. Because obviously we do need governors to potentially look after the castles, to make our loyalty a little better, and so on. So... yeah, not too sure about that just yet, but you can see here, look at these guys. They're literally just falling over, and they're all basically done, aren't they? They're all basically done. So let me actually just rescue some more people. Well, not rescue, but recruit some more people from there. And yeah, okay. So now let's actually just take a quick look here. Am I at the next... no, I'm not at the next stage just yet. Okay, so I need another 200 renown. Well, how am I going to get 200 renown? Well, I suppose... doing sieges, right? I mean, that's basically all I can do. So I guess what I'm actually going to do is I will go into Baltakhand itself. If these guys come out and attack me, then they are welcome to do so. I will welcome them with open arms. I would very much appreciate that, to be honest. Okay, so let's have a look. What else do we want to go for here? Range troops in your party gain an additional 10% total experience, I guess. We might want to go for that. And ranged siege engines are 25% less likely to be hit while bombarding settlements. That sounds like a really, really good idea. Alright, so yeah, for this, we're just going to be bombarding the walls once again, of course. We're just going to bombard the walls, and we're going to take them down as soon as possible. And that means that I don't need to build any of the other siege towers or battering ram or anything like that. And hopefully we're going to get some decent engineering skill from this as well, because let's face it, I need it. You know, if I was actually besieging a faction right now that posed a significant threat to us, then I would desperately be wanting as much engineering skill as I could possibly get my hands on. But as it stands right now, yeah, that is obviously not the case. So... I think we can pretty much relax a little bit here. I don't think we need to worry. Although, as I say, if they sally out, and I'm kind of surprised they haven't sallied out already, to be honest. Maybe they're waiting for one of their vassals to appear from out of nowhere and try to attack us. But yeah, I'm going to have to keep an eye on the whole wages thing and how much money each of these leaders has. I'm actually going to be a bit curious to check to see whether some of the other leaders have, well, not leaders, but some of the other vassals in some of the other clans, whether they actually have money. Because from what I can tell, these fellows that we're currently fighting, they don't actually have any money at all. Because we've seen a lot of their vassals running around with basically zero. And you can see that right here. I mean, look at these guys. They're literally running around with 10 units. So it's going to be very, very difficult for them to get back on their feet for any reason whatsoever. But that does mean that it's going to be easy for us to capture their territory. But did we want it to be easy? I don't know. Did we? That's a bit of a question mark there hanging over us. But anyway, we're going to just allow the trebuchets to destroy. Ah, they got that other ballista up and running. That's kind of annoying. Ah, there we go. We got it down, and now let's go and lead the assault into the town. So this is obviously a pretty big risk that I'm taking right here, because obviously if I manage to fail, then it could result in our defeat. Generally, even if the enemy is very, very weak and they can be pushed over by a soft breeze at any moment, that doesn't mean that they are helpless. That doesn't mean that they don't have the ability to launch counterattacks and retaliations against us if we make a mistake. So the least times that we can make a mistake, the better, because obviously otherwise we're just going to, you know, end up on the floor in a jail cell or something like that, which is not going to be too pleasant. And hopefully that is exactly how it's going to go. Ah, I'm now being shot. And you know what's really funny about the fire arrows as well? While I love how it looks, it's really hard to shoot from a first-person perspective with the flames in your face and everything. You've got to be very, very careful about that. Yeah, so I'm going to have to just, you know, fire away in a little bit of first-person, actually third-person action right here instead, because that does seem a little bit easier. Very much enjoying using this bow, though, I've got to say. And I think my forces... I actually am unsure. Do you think my forces are actually even capable of winning this? Because we are outnumbered so significantly, it might just be too much for us. Ow. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure why the AI does that sometimes. It's kind of weird, because what happened... I don't know whether you noticed that, but they were moving to the left quite clearly to try and attack my forces that were coming in through a breach in the walls. And then all of a sudden, as soon as I'm there, they just crowded me out and murdered me, which is obviously the mistake that I was talking about. So let's hope that we actually don't... Are we going to lose? That would be funny, wouldn't it? That would be really, really funny. I think I might have to retreat here. Yep, I'm going to have to retreat. That is actually pretty significant. That is a very, very good win for them. But bear in mind that we've gotten their walls down. It's highly unlikely they're going to be able to repair them in time. We should be able to return there very, very easily. And then we'll hopefully be able to capture it. I have to be a bit careful though, because you never know whether another faction is in the area and is ready to pounce upon any weakness in some of their enemies. And I'm talking about obviously the faction that we're currently at war against. They could have a number of enemies as well, and you never know when that enemy is going to show themselves and try to take advantage of the situation. So I do need to be a little bit cautious about that. I can't just randomly attack and then run away, attack and then run away. It's just not going to work and not going to end up in our favor at that point. So we need to be a little bit aware of that and a bit cautious. Yeah, okay, so I would like to... they're going to continually be annoying, aren't they? Yes. They are continuing to be annoying about this. Okay, I'm actually just going to continue running around here real fast. I'm going to try and get Misui, if I can, into a field battle. Yep, there she is. She's left. No. Oh, no. Yorig, no. No, you cannot do this, sir. You cannot do this. Thank you very much. As I said, look at that. Look at him. Look at what he's trying to do there. He came all the way over here, literally just to take advantage of the work that we had previously done. Isn't that a classic? Oh yes, that is an absolute classic. It seems like the Sturgians are doing absolutely... Oh, well, actually, technically, he is a Sturgian vassal, of course, originally, but he is part of his own faction now. But yes, Yorig is doing a very, very good job, as you can quite clearly tell. He has a very large army, so it may be the bug / glitch is not affecting every single clan, which actually would be really nice to see. And I would be relieved, let's just say that, because I really don't want to get into a situation where we're consistently fighting enemy vassals that have 20 to 30 units in their armies, because otherwise, what's the point? You know, we're just going to be fighting the same thing over and over then, which is, of course, the nature of the gameplay loop in Mount & Blade, but the point is, I didn't really want to fight people that have 20 to 30 units every single time. Anyway, I think we should be able to go in there now. Let me just take down the other ballistas. There we... Oh, no, wait. There's another one. There we go. All right. Now let's head on in. All right. So this time around, I'm going to be a little bit more... let me sugarcoat this. I am not going to be a useless idiot this time. There we are. That that was the way to go. That was absolutely the way to go. All right, so I'm just going to tell my forces to charge in. I don't think it really matters whether I tell them to charge in or not. I think generally they are probably going to do much better if I just tell them to charge. But I could be wrong about that because obviously if you think about how effective they are with bows, maybe it's better for them to just hold position. But then I'm also thinking, well, if they hold position, then the enemy also has a chance to breathe, they have a chance to reload and respawn and reinforce themselves, and we really don't want to see that. You know, that's something that we would prefer not to have happen, so that's kind of also the reason why it might be an idea for me to do something about this. Oh no, hello there, sirs. Okay, that's a lot of enemies. Oh, the new armor is actually doing really, really nicely for us. Making everything much, much simpler. Oh no. My armor is making everything much, much simpler, he says, as he gets almost killed. Yes. Oh, I should have stayed back and literally just used my archery, to be honest. That is what I should have done. But I think we actually have the victory here. Yeah, I think we probably do. As you can see, we have 61 units on the battlefield and the enemy has 85 and counting, actually very, very quickly diminishing. And we should have this in the bag. Yes, indeed. Very nicely done. All right. So I actually didn't even get that many kills. I only got 19. Yeah, very surprising. Okay. Yeah, so the enemy has retreated to the keep, as you might expect, and we are just going to be sending our troops in. Please don't let that be a defeat. Ooh, I was really worried about that for a real quick second. I thought to myself, wait a minute. Am I going to get one of those situations like I did beforehand in one of the previous episodes where I went in versus those villagers, and because obviously the prosperity of the village is so incredibly large, they had a very big party of villagers. Now, obviously, thankfully, I did not go in and do one of those. I didn't go in here and just suffer an immediate defeat, so that's actually really, really nice. And otherwise, I guess it's a good idea to let her go. I will take all the prisoners, thank you very much, and we'll take all the loot as well. Let's show some mercy here. The prosperity loss is not too bad. So yeah, 6,500 prosperity. That's quite low in comparison to what you might expect, considering they actually started with 11,000, I believe, at the start of the game. But then you also have to bear in mind, of course, that it's been quite some time since the beginning, and that might very well be the reason why they are not making as much, shall we say. Anyway, let's go for some loyalty here. Let's stop all the other constructions currently going on, just to sort of get our loyalty in a much more decent position. And I'm actually wanting to see something real quick. So King Lording. He is actually Crusade culture. We are actually Crusade culture. So even if I were to become the governor, or actually technically I think I am the governor right now by default, isn't that actually the case? Because you can see here that I'm not even an option to become the governor, so I assume that me just being here makes me the governor for now, possibly. I still don't really know about that, because sometimes people say, yeah, that makes you the governor, and sometimes people say it doesn't, so it's a little bit to and fro right there, but it's okay, because we've now taken Baltakhand, which is perfect. And now we also have Yorick was attempting to take Kaysar Castle. Oh, Zoana has actually just become pregnant. That's very nice to see. And hopefully we'll have an heir walking around sometime. And, well, a couple would be nice, actually, because then we can actually, you know, die and then we'll have some people to take over for us, potentially. Yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it? Anyway, let's see what I can do here. I don't want to buy your products, but I would like to recruit your troops. Thank you very much. Okay, so, wow, they have a very small garrison here. This is a super small garrison. What actually went on here? This is crazy. Alright, well, actually, I'm thinking we're just going to go straight on in. I think we're going to use ladders this time. I think we're going to just use ladders and see how it goes. Because I'm thinking on one hand, I don't really want to get a bunch of siege towers and battering rams and all that stuff. And I also don't want to build trebuchets for just a castle. So I'm thinking that's actually okay. I'm also now wondering whether I should take Parade or whether I should take Public Speaker, because while Public Speaker is amazing, because it does increase my renown gain from battles by 30%. I mean, that's an insane amount, an incredible, fantastic amount to gain. But then on the other hand, when you're waiting in settlements, they get a +5 loyalty bonus, which might very well make more sense. But if we do create our own faction, I should be able to implement a bunch of policies that make it possible for me to pretty much just have almost unlimited amounts of loyalty. So I think I will take the renown gain for this one, and we are otherwise just going to be heading straight on in, and we'll see how the siege ladders actually do in comparison to the other strategies that we've utilized so far. Yes, let me just get off this. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's see what happens here. Okay, the ladders are not going to be... Ooh, yeah, this might be bad, actually. This might be pretty bad. The enemy is going to be pretty good at defending because they are, of course, mostly archers. Or a lot of them do have archery capabilities. So that's, of course, something to be a bit careful of. Not sure how we're going to deal with it. I mean, so far, everything seems to be working quite nicely. We've killed quite a few units. And maybe if we can get onto the battlements as well, I will be able to contribute to that. Yeah, it seems to be going quite nicely. Can we... Come on, come on, come on, come on. Get over here, try and kill these guys. Thank you. You know, I need more polearm skill. I feel like I don't have enough. Oh no. Oh, yeah. See, now that's exactly what I'm talking about. The polearm that I have is really good, but I feel like I just need more skill. I just need more skill because I am swinging it way too slowly to be able to beat these characters that are actually using, you know, really short range, close quarters combat weapons. It's absolutely impossible for me to beat them in that case, especially if it's a 2 or 3 versus 1 situation. It's just never going to happen. But anyway, we were able to achieve victory. Another 75 renown for us as well. So we've gained 150 renown in just 2 battles, which is actually super nice. And we're going to be letting all of these guys go as well. I'm actually wondering whether I should have just executed them all, to be honest. But I'm wondering whether that's actually worth it. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. But now, we're pretty much done. Yeah. We're pretty much done with our war against this opponent. And we're just going to be getting a whole bunch of units in there. Let's manage the castle. Put another 10,000 in there as well, just in case. And we're going to do this to gain some loyalty. Very nice indeed. And I actually forgot to do that at Baltakhand as well, by the way. The improved garrison thing. Oh yeah, we should probably try to eliminate all the vassals if at all possible. So this guy needs to be eliminated. Let's get him. Get him. There we go. And a nice little auto-resolve will take care of him too. Alright, so that should now mean, if we have eliminated all the vassals, that should now mean that their faction... What? Where'd you come from? Wasn't that the guy that I just eliminated? Really? Was that the guy that I just eliminated or not? I think it was. Okay, eliminated. I'll let you go. Okay. I won't take the prisoners this time around. Okay. Right. Okay, I think that's it. There he is again! He's impossible. I'm sorry, he's actually impossible. I cannot eliminate him for any reason whatsoever. Misui is apparently running around as well, doing some random stuff. Not entirely sure what's going on with that, but apparently it is. Apparently it is. Anyway, yeah. I'm actually not entirely sure what I should do next, to be honest, because we do need to get some food. As you can quite clearly tell, we need some more food. I guess the only thing that we can do is just allow our villagers and caravans and so on and so forth to start running around here and making a difference. And that is pretty much all we can do. We do need to make peace for that to actually happen, though, because if that doesn't happen, then we're going to be having a bunch of people attacking us all the time, and we really do not want that. Now that that is done, we just have to wait for a potential peace agreement. Now, the peace agreement obviously is maybe up to us. Ooh, look at that. I am almost to Clan Tier 4. That would actually enable us to create our very own faction, which would be amazing. Can I go in here? Yes. Okay. Whew. That was some nice timing right there, if I do say so myself. And now let's see. Did I get to Clan Tier 4? No, I'm not getting to Clan Tier 4. Okay. Well, that's, yeah, I guess that's fine. I mean, it's bound to happen. It's bound to take a little bit of time for me to get that renown that I need, but, yeah. It would obviously help if these guys had slightly larger armies, wouldn't it? Yeah. It would, of course, help a little bit. Yeah, okay, so I actually don't even know whether I even have the ability to get renown from these fights, because they are so incredibly small. Yes, I'm gaining like 1 or 2 renown per fight at the moment, which is actually really, really bad. I'm actually, I could go into the tournament here, but the tournament is only going to give me 10. It's only going to give me 10, which is 885, and that is obviously not enough. Okay, I guess what I could do is just wait here for some time and see whether a larger enemy pops on by. I don't know whether they're going to, but we'll see. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. There's Misui with 20. I could do battle with her, but I really wanted to create our own faction in this one so that we can have the additional kingdom creation benefits and everything. That would really make a huge difference. Did we gain? Yeah, we gained 3 renown for this. Yeah, 3 renown is just, in my opinion, not worth it. So it seems to me like I will need to go into the tournament and or make war against someone else. I really didn't want to have to do that, though, because making war against someone else is kind of messy, and I would have liked to have kind of cleaned everything up, shall we say, in our very own territory, because we now have a bunch of territory to look after, pretty much. But it would have been nice to sort of get that all fixed up before we actually decided on anything else. I'm really worried about fighting these guys. As we've seen before, I do tend to get myself eliminated very easily while fighting with these kinds of weapons, so not a big fan. Oh, very nice. Okay, that was actually perfect. Nice timing. Let's see what I can do here. There we go. I've got a bow, and we are, of course, a horse archer, so, of course, this is going to be a little easier than it was beforehand, he says as he misses every single shot. Very nice. Yes. Okay, I'm going to just use my sword. If I can. Could I actually use my sword effectively? Thank you. Thank you. Very good. Very good, Mr. King Lording. You have actually done a good service today. And then I proceed to get headshot. What do you bet? Is it going to happen? I don't think so somehow. I don't think these guys have the proficiency for that. Ooh, he does have the proficiency to parry something from behind. I don't know how he was able to do that. It must have been some special action movie action movie effects or something. Is he the protagonist? Okay, there we go. Not too bad, considering I only have 44 proficiency in one-handed. Okay, I have a spear. Oh, okay, they gave me a sword as well. Okay, that's a little bit better, thank you. Because I was thinking to myself, oh, you gave me a spear. How wonderfully useless. There we are, easy enough. And I believe we're actually up against our companion, Villatrude. Okay, that's going to be interesting. Ah, they gave me my favorites. Oh yeah, I love that. If I could hit. There we go. I was thinking to myself, what's happening here? I'm missing. Yes, very good. Okay, well, there you go. There's 10 renown. That was maybe a little bit more effective than doing huge amounts of different fights, because otherwise it's literally going to be a case of me fighting Mesui like how many times? I don't even know. Like 10, 20 times just to get the amount of renown that I need. If we get, you know, 2 to 3 renown every single battle. So yeah, you can see here that I need 12 renown to be able to make my own faction. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to end this episode off here. I'm going to get the 12 renown, and then in the next one we will create our faction and see where we go next. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.